the lap time that was set, and I think we saw a 46.9, a 46.8 and a 46.7 taken. Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's JJ, if you're listening, thanks a lot for that screenshot. So I've passed that on to him, so that'll get printed, no doubt, and framed. Yeah.
All lights to the lights, and away we go. And here we are racing now towards Redgate. There those out from third position. David Ball, bike number 8, looked up the inside there, but no room as Kev Woolley takes the race lead with the all black leathers there. So Kev Woolley ahead of Alan Cooper. Is that how you see it there, Fish?
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, as I said earlier, your eyesight's probably going to be better than mine, but it certainly looked like a darker set of leathers on board that white bike.
So Kev Woolley, bike number 51, who is currently leading the way. Watching them down now through Hollywood, down Craner curves in towards the old hairpin for the first time of 5. Everybody through safely there, watching them underneath, underneath Starkey's Bridge, underneath where Starkey's Bridge used to be, and they'll come back into our sight as they go through the left-hander of Schwantz before the change of direction into the uphill right-hander of McLean's. But it is Kev Woolley leading the way, bike number 51. I can see the number 110, Mark Hay, right there in 4th position, as everybody forces their way through, but it will be much better when they're out of the foggy S's. We'll be able to see who is where, but at the moment it would seem that Kev Woolley and Alan Cooper, number 51 and number 30, that is how they finished in the race earlier on today, by only half a second separating those two riders. That is the current order as they race in towards the braking zone for the foggy S's, through the left, over to the right, get the power down, and Woolley leads Cooper. 3rd position, David Ball. That's where he finished in the race earlier on today, ahead of Mark Haig and Paul Whitby, and that's Max McRae.
Yeah, that's Max McRae,
Max McRae,
yes. He's on Len Whalen's bike, obviously the bike that John Hamilton normally rides, but he had an accident at Alton Park earlier on in the year, and Max has jumped on it since then and been doing very, very well on it.
In fact, he's just moved up in front now of the number 74 of Paul Whitby. There is Andy Bursko right in the tow as well, with the 777 of David May up next. Then it's Alan Bushell, bike number 6, but already out of Goddard's and across the line. Kev Woolley leads Alan Cooper by 0.297 of a second. So Paul up next. It's Mark Haig first of the Clubmans in 4th place. McRae ahead of Paul Whitby, who drops 2 positions. Andy Bursko makes up 4 positions on that lap. Then it's May, Bushell, Mook, Ridley, and then the number 92 machine of Andy Mook. Then it's Paul Neild making up 4 positions on that lap as well. Cripps, Goff, Lee, Halil, Stubberfield, Pearson and Kev Marshall rounding out the overall top 20 ahead of Turner, Bailey, Zanuto, Patterson, Collins, Elleray and number 25 Steve Wumble rounding out the 27 riders out there on the circuit. But the race leaders already through the old hairpin up towards Starkey's, and there they are back into our view once more. And it's a bit of a breakaway too there, isn't it, Fish?
Yeah, it is in this one. It's a little bit closer in the first race there, but obviously the people in Hospitality Suite 59 will be very pleased about this. They've been whining and dining themselves with lots of food and drink, so they'll certainly be excited for these two leading this race again.
And as they should be there, they're out in front there. Across the line, it was 1.1 seconds between Cooper and Ball for 2nd and 3rd place. But I think it's very safe to say that that gap has opened up quite dramatically in the first half of this 2nd lap. But out of sight they go momentarily in towards the braking zone once again for the foggy S's, as Woolley still leads Alan Cooper. And last time around it's 0.3 of a second. It's around about half a second as we speak. But Mark Haig now ahead of David Ball for 3rd place. Max McRae looks for the inside pass in towards the Melbourne Loop once again. So David Ball goes from 3rd position to 5th position on this lap, and has almost dropped into the clutches there of Paul Whitby. But trying to get the cutback on Max McRae. They are side by side there. Who's going to be the last of the late breakers? And the answer is Max McRae, as he slides his way in towards Goddard's. Looks like Mark Haig may have outbraked himself just a little bit, but he's looking down to his left-hand side there.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I mean that was two great braking out manoeuvres there by Max McRae going into the hairpin. It looked like he was going to try and take both of them, and David got a good drive out of the loop there. But Max held his own into Goddard. But they certainly seemed to close in onto Mark Hay there. So not sure what was going on. And we're just going back further down the field a little bit before they come back around again. Just want to sort of shout out to Paul Neal there. He's 2nd place in last year's rookie championship. He had some problems on the last session on the test day on Friday. Seemed okay today in qualifying and the first race, but he's going well there. He's a 4th clubman at the moment. He's still early into his racing career on YPMs, but he's doing really well, I think.
Kev Woolley, a 1 minute 45.882 is the fastest lap of the race so far. 1 minute 45.882 is quicker than what he did earlier on today. In fact, it's 0.9 of a second quicker than what he did earlier on today. So I'm not quite sure where he's found that time, but That's a lot of time to find.
It is indeed, but maybe this is just Kev Woolley playing as usual, right?
I think you'd be right on that one there. Right, through the foggy S's, and there is Kev Woolley, bike number 51. Next up should be the number 30 machine. But the number 30 machine of Cooper is showing he's not coming across the line here. So we're looking around the circuit. Kev Woolley is in towards the Melbourne Loop, and seem to be missing Alan Cooper here, Pete. I'm not sure what's happened there.
No, not too sure where he's disappeared. I can't see anything up the top there, but obviously the grid's gone past through the area if there was any sort of incidents out there. But yeah, Kev Woolley's got a nice lead as he's just crossed the line now. Mark Hay is coming now out in second, and Max McRae's third, closely followed by Paul Whitby and David Ball behind. So is Paul Whitby going to make a move into Redgate? It looks like he is.
Oh, he just gets his nose chopped off there right in towards the apex there, doesn't he? But it's so close there between these guys. That promotes Mark Haig and Max McRae into the podium positions there, as you said. But of course, Paul Whitby, fourth on the circuit. That would be third in class, with Mark Haig being a clubman.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 100%. But I've got a feeling that Mark Hay would still take second place on the main podium.
Okay.
So it's almost like a subclass within the main one, but it's not exclusive.
No worries at all. My apologies. Woolley leads the way by 5.5 seconds there. It's a 1 minute 47.2 on that previous lap, so 1.5 seconds outside of the best so far of the race, but still 1.5 seconds quicker than Mark Haig behind him on that previous lap. But nobody inside the top 9 going personal best, and that the following 3-4 riders all going personal best, and that's Tom Ridley inside the top 10 overall, ahead of Mook Cripps, and Damien Lee finding a way through on Paul Neals on that previous lap as well.
You see there's quite a reasonable difference between that best lap of Kev Woolley's on lap 2 and then that third lap he's just gone through. Happened with Alan to maybe just cause a slight slowdown there.
Could well be the case there. He's gone yellow in sector number 1 on this penultimate lap, of course. So we've got 2 more corners. Then the last lap flag will be shown as a dive up the inside from Max McRae on Mark Haig for second position. Through the Melbourne Loop they go. And Mark Haig with the cutback just about finds enough room to squeeze that TZR up the inside of Max McRae. And Paul Whitby right there with them as well. 4th position earlier on today. He'd love to get onto the podium. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, that was a very unfortunate sort of 4th place for Paul earlier. He's trying his best out there, and it's such a tough field of riders at the moment. You know, these lads here, top 4, all within sort of tenths of seconds of each other. And Paul was saying in that first race he was finding in places he was able to gain on people on braking sections of the track. So he's saying it looks like he's trying. He's just tried that again into Redgate, but it didn't quite hold. So this is the last lap. He'll be making a move at some point, I can guarantee it.
We'll keep a very close eye on it as Kev Woolley makes his way now through the right-hander of the old hairpin, and then up through the gearbox, over to the left-hand side through Starkey's, and back into our view once again through the left-hander of Schwantz before the change of direction for McLean's. He is well away with this at the moment, 6.2 seconds advantage, as that's Mark Haig still there in second position on bike number 110. And it seems to me that McRae just trying to make a challenge there on Mark Haig. It's so difficult to see. They're around about don't know how many metres away they are, but certainly far enough away that we can only just about see the colours as they make their way over the top of the crest now through the right-hander of Coppice and down the back straight. And this is where the slipstream is so important, isn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. And you know, trying to carry that slipstream, and then you know you're going to be travelling faster into those S's, and you've got to be able to hold hand brakes up and get that turn through there. It's a lot of a faster flip-flop than it is onto the national circuit.
So Mark Haig is going a little bit defensive here in towards Melbourne Loop. Max McRae not close enough to make a challenge there. Can he find a way through? Not this time around. So it's going to be who will be the latest on the brakes in towards Goddard's.
Yeah, I think if Max could have got a good drive out of that Melbourne Loop, I think he would have made a dive into Goddard's. But it looks like Mark got a good drive from the Melbourne Loop, and he's certainly looking like he's going to cross the line.
We've got a bit of a moment there for Mark Haig. Mark Haig dragged to the line there. Mark Haig takes a look to his left there, and is that Max McRae who just about picked in? No, Mark Haig.
Mark Haig got it.
Yeah, Mark Haig credited a tenth of a second ahead of Max McRae at the end of it. And ironically enough, Mark Haig, that's still a personal best lap of the race.
Wow. It seemed like he had some instances he came out that last turn, didn't it?
Yeah, looked like he's trying to go up through his box. I'm not sure what happened there. Couldn't get it in, whatever it may be, but certainly it nearly cost him second place. It didn't in the end, thankfully, for Mark, but 1 minute 47.853 Still a personal best lap on that final lap for Mark Haig. Max McRae, third position ahead of Paul Whitby, who again a tenth of a second outside of the podium, unfortunately for Paul, but